Often people ask me in the seminars and workshops, how do I get peace of mind? How do I get out of the rat race and enter into states of stillness? I've studied many techniques of various traditions, and it took me quite some time to understand that one of the biggest errors in meditation is the idea that you have to meditate, that you have to achieve something. And that meditation, or let's say relaxation, is a phenomenon which has to do with spontaneity. So relaxation is a spontaneous response if you don't do anything. But for most of us, it's very difficult to do nothing. In Zen, there's a saying, sitting still, doing nothing, spring comes, and the grass grows by itself. It sounds very beautiful, but is not so easy. Because there's a tension in the body, and there's a tension in the mind. There is also an emotional tension, and most of us have a difficult time to just allow these tensions to be there without acting on it. When I compare various methods of relaxation and meditation, I find the easiest access to meditation is to meditate with the body, to meditate with the senses. And it's interesting that in neurological research, there's a guy, Norman Farb from the University of Toronto, who found out that we have two operating systems in the brain. The one, for most of us, a very familiar system is the narrative system. And the narrative system is responsible for creating 40 to 60,000 thoughts every day. And if you look at the brain, it's on the left side of the brain, where the speech kind of center is. So most of us are left brain guys or women, so left brainers. And the left side is producing an enormous amount of thoughts every day. And one of the quotes I like very much from Hegel, the German philosopher, is, because it's a familiar, it remains unknown. So in transpersonal psychology, we say that identification is a trap. If you are identified with the voice of your left brain, that's your only operating system. And for most people in the world, it's their only operating system. And the left side is driving you mad. Because if you look deeper into the content of these 40 to 60,000 thoughts every day, you will find out that 2/3 are negative. Only 1/3 is positive. 2/3 of the thoughts which are arising spontaneously, if you don't do anything, are negative. They are doubts, they are, they're fears, they're worries, they're should I, can I, wouldn't I, And these thoughts can be so devastating, so negative, that they, bring you into a depression, or they make you mad, or they lead you to impulsive reactions. So the question is, how do you get out of that single operating system, or the narrative system? And research is saying that the easiest way is by activating the right hemisphere. Now, the right hemisphere, when you look into the right side of the brain, there is a part in the right side which is responsible for spacious orientation. So whenever you move, whenever you run or you do something with the body, the right side becomes active. But also when you're creative, when you listen to music, or if you turn your attention within, into the body. And the easiest access to the right side of the brain is just to feel into the inner sensation of your hand and your feet. Because your hands and your feet, they have a lot of nerve cells and they are overrepresented in the right side of the brain. So whenever you decide to feel into the inner sensation of your hands or your feet, what you do is actually you activate the right side of the brain, and from there you get a distance to that voice which comes from the left side. Because the most precious thing you have is your attention. Where your attention goes, there goes the energy. So when your attention is mostly on the left side of the brain with what the monkey mind, as the Indians say, is telling you, there you are right in the rat race. You are right in that vicious circle of thinking and reflecting and thinking and reflecting. Yeah. So if you want to get out of that, you have to move, what a lot of people do in business, sport, running, whatever you do, swimming. Or to make it easier, you don't have to run, you don't have to move. You just decide to put a part of your attention into the inner sensation of your body. And it's best to start with the hands and the feet, because they have a lot of nerve cells. So when you put 60% of your attention in the inner feeling of your body, then after weeks and months, what you establish is hardware in the right side of the brain. It's like a platform. In many spiritual traditions, you will find the witness, you will find the observer. The witness is the one who is aware of the thoughts, is aware of, worries, anxieties, your emotions and whatsoever. But you have to cultivate the witness. And it's not enough to know about the witness. And if you build a platform with your sensation where the witness can just observe, what the inner voice is telling you all the time, then you create a distance. And the larger the distance is you create, the more stillness you will encounter. Now, what you then establish is called the direct experience network, or the direct experience operating system. For me, it's an operating system. And the interesting point is, when you develop this operating system on the right side of the brain, not only there's a lot more creativity and inspiration, but also there is your intuitive wisdom. It's like your soul is communicating to you via that other operating system, that still small voice within. And so cultivating silence means to cultivate the right side of the brain, and then the next step is to synchronize the right and the left brain. Yeah. Once there's a synchronization, you can use both operating system, the narrative system with your experience, your logic, your rational mind, and the right side of your brain with the intuition, the inspiration, and the wisdom of your soul. For me, what's very interesting is that to observe that with the increasing complexity which we see over the last years, and increasing speed in life, that most of the people are not really capable of managing their lives only with the left side of the brain. Because the left side is very slow. And the left side is not sufficiently equipped to deal with the complexity. So once you integrate the right side, once you cultivate more the right side of the brain where you find your intuitive wisdom, then you will find out that insights just are coming in the right moment. You don't have to know anything beforehand. It's spontaneous knowing. Yeah? It's inner knowing. And once you encounter that this is a very reliable tool, which is available, has been available all your life. But we were not trained really to listen to that inner wisdom. But once you become more sensitive and you really listen to that inner voice, to that gut feeling, then you have a fantastic operating system within you. And then you will realize that the left side of the brain is, that monkey mind is talking and talking and talking, but you don't give it any attention anymore. And then it slows down. And then what happens is that your decisions become wiser. Your body then naturally relaxes much more. You have more energy available because you realize that your soul or your intuition is helping you, is supporting you, is carrying you through life. The only thing you have to do is just cultivating that part of you which is much more sensitive and smarter than you can ever think. So to summarize, I recommend you first 2 times a day for 20 minutes, for a quarter of an hour, just to sit still and do nothing. Don't even try to meditate. Just close your eyes. Closing your eyes is highly recommended because the brain needs 40% of the energy to just work with all the input, all the visual input. So when you close your eyes, 40% is available for you. Yeah. Then it's good not to move. Number 2, don't move. Try not to move. Make yourself comfortable, but don't move. Because if you don't move, you will allow the body to relax by itself. Yeah? If you don't do anything. Number 3, just go into the inner sensation of your feet. Feel your feet. Feel your hands. And connect the feeling in your feet with the sensation in your hands. How do you connect? You connect by being aware of both hands and feet at the same time. That's number 3. Then from the feet and your hands, slowly you will encounter that the sensation which you have there, a form of relaxation or energy, will slowly go up from the feet, up from the hands into the arms, and it's all done by your brain, or it's all done by the right side of your brain. Because once you're rooted in the right side of your brain, it's all on autopilot. Number 4, try to stay in the sensation of your body as long as you can. And don't try to organize your inner experience, which means allow everything to be as it is and just become the witness of the sensation in your body. And number 5, even if you stop and you stand up after a quarter of an hour or 20 minutes, stay as long as you can with 60% of your attention in the sensation of your body. You cannot be relaxed enough in this crazy world. So meditation is just a training, but the idea, the intent is to stay in the sensation as long as you can with 60% of your attention. Because if you stay with 60% of your attention the whole day in the sensation of your body, what you do then is you activate more and more the second operating system, the direct experience network. And then very soon what you will encounter is that you're more in the present moment. You're much more in the here and now. That your intensity of life, that your capacity to really be present with who you are and what is just happening increases more and more. So, if you have any more questions, please let me know. Look at the website. There are some workshops. There are seminars, and there's a training course for coaches. So, and I thank you very much for your attention, and I hope to see you again. Bye-bye.